Hi record collectors. Reviewing my videos, I noticed I really haven't done any videos on R&B or soul artists, so I thought today I would focus a little bit on Stax records and some of the artists that I have in my collection that at one point or other worked with Stax. And Stax subsidiary label was Volt. Now Stax originally started back in the late 50s and they were created by a brother and sister team. And that was Jim Stewart and Estelle Axton. Turned out that Satellite Records was a name already in use by a company in California, and so they took the first two letters of the last names, put them together, and formed the name Stax. Of course, they were situated in Memphis, Tennessee, and they had taken over a movie theater that had closed and turned that into a recording studio. And due to the slope of the floor, where all the chairs had been removed from the theater, they had very unique acoustics in that studio, and supposedly professional musicians can tell right away when listening to a recording if it's been made in the Stax studio due to unique sound coming from that studio. The house band for Stax was Booker T and the MGs. So we start there. We have Green Onions, 1962, of course, a big hit. Green Onions on it. Soul Dressing, 1965. Next one I have is In the Christmas Spirit. Doing all the classics like Jingle Bells. The next one is Hip Hug Her. Now I have the jacket for this, but I have it in a frame up on the wall. So just the record here. The album cover is framed. Next one I have is Doing Our Thing. So Hip Hugger was 1967, Doing Our Thing is 1968. The next one I have is Soul Limbo, 1968. Booker T set, which is 1969. And then McLemore Avenue, sort of has that Abbey Road look to it. One album I don't have by them is Melting Pot. I've seen it several times at flea markets, and I haven't picked it out yet. Definitely will sometime in the future. Another artist I have a couple records of on the Stax label was Sam and Dave. Sam and Dave was signed by Atlantic, but they were sent down to do the recordings in the Stax label, distributed there. So Hold On, I'm Coming was a big hit from Sam and Dave. Of course, the other big one they had was Soul Man. Group associated with the Stax label, but they I think they got distributed on the Atlantic label, but it was the Marquise. Last Night, 1961. Do the Popeye, 1962. The Great Memphis Sound, 1966. So obviously through the 60s, Atlantic was the distributor for Stax Records, and Atlantic's subsidiary was ATCO. So, another artist on the Stax label, Eddie Floyd. Now this is Atlantic pressing, but I believe the first pressing was on Stax. I think this is a later pressing. It is on Atlantic label. And an absolutely fantastic artist. I really love this album. Rufus Thomas, Walking the Dog. Absolutely great album. He does a duet with his daughter on that song, Cause I Love You. This is one of my all-time favorite albums. Another artist associated with Stax, but distributed on the ATCO label, was Otis Redding. And so with Otis Redding, we have Pain in My Heart, which I think was 1964. Otis Blue, which I think is on 1965. A recent copy of that one too. The stuff's all been reissued, and I picked up this one. It was fairly reasonable price in the store. Somebody on Blue Label or Blue Vinyl. So I said, what the heck? Pick that one up as well. Because the original pressing I had wasn't in the greatest of conditions. The next one, the Soul album, which I think is 1966. And these are on the Volt label, the subsidiary Stax. And then the next one is the Dictionary of Soul, which is also 1966. Then I have the Dock of the Bay. This album I think was released after he passed away. This is a European pressing, not a North American pressing. Still on this on the ATCO label. I think this is a much more modern pressing too. WDA's on there, the distributor. The Immortal, which was 1968. Dock of the Bay was 1968 as well. This one's in pretty rough shape. I think I found it in a dollar box. This one here is a very recent pressing. Like here, you can see what looks like ringware. Actually, that's the way it came in the store. I just bought this a year or two ago. You can see the barcode. This is a new pressing. Just some of his early recordings that he did. And intentionally the record is scuffed up, dirtied up to make it look like an old record from your collection. As well, we've got Otis Redding, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. I'm not sure if this was from the European tour or not. It looks like this might be on the Reprise label. I'm not sure. I found this one. I don't know really. This is probably again a modern release or fairly recent. This is on the Atlantic label. Just recorded live, previously unreleased performances. Again, this might have been picked up from that European tour where Stax. I think it was around 1967-68. A lot of the Stax. The next album I have is Otis Redding, Live in Europe. This is pretty beat up as well. So, Satisfaction is on that one. Just a couple of other artists that were on the Stax label. Of course, the Staple Singers were on that label. This is a great album. This is the album with Respect Yourself on it, which was big hit by them. Also, I think on that one is I'll Take You There, which was also another big hit. And that was Stax. Another group on Volt, Bar Keys, Soul Finger. Don't recognize the name of the group. That Soul Finger song, if you heard it, you probably recognize it. It's one of these things, oh, you never heard of these guys. But when you hear Soul Finger, oh yeah, I've heard that around before. Strange thing about this album, the first two songs on side one are crystal clear, then the next three songs are very muddled. I don't know, there's nothing wrong with the vinyl. And then side two, the first two songs are very muddled, and then the last four songs are crystal clear. So I don't know if this album was produced in two different studios or different engineering or what, but big contrast in sound between songs. Another artist that worked at Stax studio was Isaac Hayes. He was a producer and keyboard player, and then he started, of course, putting out his own albums. And this is on, I think, the Enterprise Records, which is a division of Stax. This is just an example here of Isaac Hayes' work. Then there's the Stax did the big tour in Europe, which I think was 67, 68. And they got the Stax Volt Review, Volume 1. Many of their artists on there. There's Booker T, the Marquis, Eddie Floyd, Carla Thomas, Sam and Dave. Very good album. And then there's the Volume 2. Pretty much the same artists. Eventually, they ran into a big problem, and that was that the Atlantic Records was sold to Warner Brothers, and that sort of dissolved the relationship between Stax and Atlantic as their distributor. And there was a clause which the owners of Stax were not aware of, that when their relationship dissolved, Atlantic Records retained all the rights to the music, the master tapes, everything. So basically, Stax lost all their music from, say, 62 to 67, which is a considerable blow. Also, I want to show you that DVD, Stax Live in Norway. This was the Stax tour in Europe. This is a fantastic DVD. If you find it and you're a fan of R&B and soul or the Stax artist, I really recommend you picking up this one. Pretty much everybody's on there. The Marquis, Booker T and EMG, Sam and Dave, Eddie Floyd. Fantastic concert. So anyways, that's pretty much what I have right now tonight anyways on the Stax label. So as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.